Hi, I'm horticulturist Greg Lusk. Welcome to episode 15 in the garden here at the Amarillo Botanical Gardens. Today we're going to talk about summer care, which will include deadheading, a little bit about fertilizing and watering as well. And so here we go. I'm sure that everybody is doing a job deadheading, but we're going to go over it quickly. I'm sure you're taking care of your roses each week, taking the dead flower heads off, and your geraniums as well, inspecting for disease and insect problems. But did you know you really need to deadhead a lot of your annuals and perennials, and we'll talk about that. The reason for deadheading is it removes the flower itself is a reproduction organ, and if you remove that ability to reproduce, make seed, it says bloom again. A plant's purpose in life is to reproduce, make seed, and continue its progeny. So if you remove that ability to take the seed away, it makes it bloom more and continue to bloom, and so therefore we deadhead. It also takes away the ugly dead flowers that are associated with dead flowers. It also takes away the ugly dead flower heads that just are kind of unsightly as well. So here we go with a few pointers on deadheading. In this annual bed here we have some ageratum, some marigolds, some salvia, geraniums, all kinds of nice annual plants. And as a general rule of thumb, you just take the dead flower head and you follow it down to the next true leaf, or the next leaf bud in this case, and just take some nice clean sharp shears and cut it off. And you can do it pretty quickly. And tune up the plant real nice, make it like nice and bright again. Get any weeds while you're down there. Marigolds are another great one. Just follow the stem back to where the leaves start and take that. If you don't, that's just going to make a dry seed head, and it's going to stop flowering pretty much. So that's always important. You can return the flowers to the ground where they'll decompose, or you can throw them away. Either way. Salvia back here, this wonderful mealy cup sage. It's really easy. You just follow the stem down, snap it with your fingers or some good shears, and it does wonderful for the way the plant looks and to encourage flowering. So of course I know that you're keeping up with your weekly or 10-day fertilizer ritual and keeping things wet. We've stopped raining, of course, and that's kind of sad to say. I think we'll get some more rain soon, but until then, make sure you're watering often, not letting your plants stress out. You don't have to put a tremendous amount of water on because the soil is deep soaked. You don't have to put a tremendous amount of water on because the soil profile is saturated still pretty well. But lots of these annuals are shallow rooted, and they're going to need watering every couple days right now while it's hot and windy, and you can back off if it rains and cools off. So we're going to talk about perennials now. Of course, perennials need deadheading as well for the same purposes. Some of them don't rebloom after your head. We're going to talk about perennials now. Perennials need deadheaded as well as annuals, and some of them will rebloom after you prune them, and others will not. But let's give them the best shot. So here we sit in front of this large bed of Aquilegia columbine crescent, and it's just a great yellow columbine. It bloomed heavily. I will send you a picture out, show you what it looked like earlier this spring. It bloomed from March until just the last couple weeks when it really started getting hot. Its foliage in the heavy heat and dry air tends to get brown sometimes. So there's two different things we can do here. First is you want to just remove these flower spikes, and you can easily just reach down and pull that out or break it off at the base of the plant, and it's kind of woody and it breaks real easily. This does a couple things. It cleans up the plant because these dead heads are just kind of unsightly. It removes a lot of seed because these are making a lot of seed. A little seed is good. As much as this creates could be a problem. It just really seeds well. It's worth sharing the seed if you like. Now if your columbine starts looking just tacky, the foliage starts looking bad, you can just shear it off close to the ground. Again, just use good shears, cut it, draw the plant up to the crown and cut it off and remove the leaves. And it looks kind of bad for a few days, but if you water it good, maybe even a little fertilizer, it'll pop right back up. The foliage will clean and bright again, and it'll throw up a few more flowers, particularly if we get some rain, and this fall it'll look great again. So that's a good choice for that. Sweet rock, it's another one, deadhead it to reduce seed and just keep it looking nice, and it will reflower as well. Hollyhocks were beautiful this year. They're starting to get close to the end of their growing season. You can just take the whole stalk down when they're finished. Save some seeds for yourself and some neighbors, but just take the whole stalk down to the ground and it'll possibly rebloom. But anyway, if you don't, it's just a tacky tall seed spike that is unattractive. So go through your garden. Don't be afraid. If it looks bad, remove it, cut it off, fertilize it, and make sure it's stayed moist. Of course, you're mulching well so that water stress is not as much of an issue, and you're doing a good job with your watering, I'm sure. Watching the plant, learning its watering requirements. The plants give signs of wilting and stuff. You want to water just before it wilts. You just have to watch this wind and the heat and the humidity and all those things, but you learn quickly and figure out a good watering regimen, and it pays off. So thank you for joining us for another episode of In the Gardens here at the Amarillo Botanical Gardens. It's a great place. The gardens look fantastic. Come out and visit us. See us every Thursday night for Music in the Gardens, and the gates open at 6. We have a food truck. Bring your own beverage of choice, a lawn chair, a picnic blanket. Bring your date and your family and just come and have a great time. Music begins at 7, runs till 9 o'clock, Thursday nights all summer.